I'm telling you now, right? Scrap that minimum. Like, we're going for gold. A bit of morning pre-ab for the big man. He loves this one. This is one of his favourite ones. Stretches her knees right out.
My name's Elliot Stewart. I'm a visually impaired judo athlete. I fight under 90 kilos and I'm going for Tokyo 2021.
So is that ParalympicsGB? I love this activity.
I usually use the term I was born into judo because the year I was born in 1988, my dad actually went to the Seoul Games in Korea, so it was involved all my life, always knew judo, always was interested in judo, so it wasn't just a thing where it was just around and about. I was always really interested in what was going on. I always wanted to get on the mat when I was a bit too young to even be on the mat, so I used to sneak on, my dad used to let me on and things like that. So yeah, it's always been there and thereabouts.
Ready? Zoo!
I was training to be a PE teacher. I did my first year, everything was fine, and then in the middle of my second year, I noticed as I was finding it hard to see the actual PowerPoint slides and the board at the front of the classroom. They diagnosed me with something called keratoconus. And keratoconus is basically the cornea is a cone shape, and my vision, what I actually see is like there's no focus, so I can never focus on anything. Everything's always a blur. Like I always explain it as looking through your tears in your eyes or looking through the bottom of a glass, maybe.
Come on! Push it! You're gonna go fast! Keep driving, Evan! Keep driving, Elliot!
I had to have an operation in the April of 2017 called cross-linking, where they just harden my cornea to stop them from morphing and changing shape anymore. And then, as I said, my dad and my brother, they're here doing judo at that time. And my dad actually said, why don't you try for the visually impaired Paralympic team? And then we went through the steps, and then by the August, I was in my first event.
Some sort of cardio base then. 3, 2, 1, and go!
Max, who is #1 in the UK under 90 kilos and he's aiming to go to the Olympic Games, trying to qualify for the Olympic Games. He's my younger brother, and me and my younger brother, we've had more of a relationship of where he's always looked up to me as a bigger brother, and I've always seen him as a younger brother. I've always looked after him, so we never really had that that fighting spirit between each other. We only get that when we're actually on the mat and then training, and we've got goals. We both know we've got goals. We're both helping each other get to where we want to get to. We're both helping each other get better. So when we're on the mat, we fight each other as hard as we can because we're trying to improve each other. But then off the mat, we support each other, help each other, comfort each other when you come in, you know, like brothers do. It's Wednesday morning. I've got a day off today, so I'm outside with the family as we usually do. We don't usually have a Wednesday off, it's just because it's COVID and our schedule's a little bit different. So yeah, so here's what I usually do when my day's off, a little bit of recovery. So I live at home. I've got my wife and 3 kids and our dog. So when I'm here training, my wife's at home with our 3 kids, home educating. I've got a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old and a soon-to-be 5-year-old. The lockdown from 2020 to 2021, I've actually looked at it as extra time. It's been a gift for me, so I get to see spend time with my kids. I get to be involved in their home education a lot more. I get to be at home with my wife, and I get to spend that good quality family time at home in that pastime, but then also have a little bit of break from judo and come back wanting it a little bit more hungry and a little bit more thankful for what I'm allowed to do and what I can try and achieve, and I still can keep going for my goals. I always say for me it's a sacrifice. So I've had to make big sacrifices to get where I am in judo and to reach my goals. And not just me, but every top athlete, especially para-athletes, have to make big sacrifices to reach the Paralympic Games. But what people don't usually talk about is the people around you and your support group that have to make those sacrifices with you. So like my family, my wife and my kids, they've made sacrifices because I've not been there with them. I've had to miss things. I've had to miss things when my kids are growing up because I've been at training, I've been out at training camps, I've been out at competitions. But they understand that, so they've supported me as well. My family, my dad and my brother, they understand those sacrifices, and they support me with those sacrifices, and I support my brother with his sacrifices. So if we both get to if I get to the Paralympic Games and my brother gets to the Olympic Games, and we do well, all those sacrifices, they mean something, and it was for a reason, and it was for a purpose. And all those people, that support group around us, it will mean something to them as well. So our success in that aspect will be it will be good for everybody, not just for me and my brother, but it will be for everybody, all our support group and all our family around us. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, and it was we saw it coming, but it is still a bit of a blow. But it's definitely understandable. I think they've made the right decision, and I think all my family and friends that wanted to come and watch, they also believe it's the right decision as well. I know my family and friends are going to be watching on TV. If they could be there, they'd be there. But I'm still going to perform at my very best I can. Whether it was in 2020, 2021, whether there's going to be spectators, no spectators, I'm still going there to give my all. It's still, in my head, the Paralympic Games are my main goal, and I reckon my opponents, they're thinking exactly the same thing, so I'm never going to change my mentality towards my goals based on what the environment's going to be like. I think that's how we have to look at it as athletes. My only dream is just to get to the games. Everything else is a bonus. But I genuinely believe if I've done the work here at home, if I've sweat, tears and blood here on the mat, if I've done enough and I've worked hard enough, when I get to the games, the result will come. I genuinely believe that.